Hi, this is Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. I have a journal today in my Etsy shop that I want to do a flip through and explanation of. This is featuring a kit from Seneca Pond Crafts. It's called A Backward Glance. It's a very, very beautiful vintage creams and tans and pinks and off-whites, beautiful browns of just kind of family memories and a place to keep pictures of your loved ones and stories and recipes and things like that. I mean, of course, you could just do daily journaling and things like that as well. But I knew this kit needed something special. And when my mother bought this at a thrift store for me, this piece of cross stitch, she found it framed. It was professionally framed and it's vintage. She's guessing it's from the 80s. I don't really know it. You know, kind of hoping it's older than that, but it's gorgeous. It's got aging and it's all hand done. So I covered the spine of the book in it so that it really had that prominent feature. And when it's sitting on the shelf, you're going to see it. It makes me so happy to save pieces like this because before I got into junk journaling, I didn't really think about the value of this, all the hours of work. It was probably going to wind up in a dumpster if nobody had bought it. There was no longer any glass in the frame. It was beautifully mounted, and the back of the frame had a stamp from the shop that framed it, but probably it wasn't going to be loved and appreciated like it needed to be. So I put it on this journal, and then this is a repurposed Reader's Digest book. The spine, I made my own spine so that it would be wider, but the front and the back are, and then there's all these adhesive pearls to just really set that off. Metal book corners, lots of like upholstery fabric, paper clips, and let's get into it so I can show you the beautiful images from Seneca Pond Crafts. I just left the inside of this book like it because it was so incredible, and then some satiny upholstery fabric here to hold everything together. So you have fabric holding it together here and fabric holding it together here, so it is nice and sturdy, won't be going anywhere. I just love all of the texture and the edges on this fabric. I used a lot of Tim Holtz sentiments throughout too, just as kind of journaling prompts, and just look at these images. Aren't they incredible? So her kits are massive. There's so many. I did not even use all of the kit, and this is a pretty substantial journal. So this says the first step in a journey, and I love how she has background pages as well, so I can print her backgrounds on her pages as well. And then she has these little postcards, and I just stitched some paper onto the back of that. And here's another one of her beautiful images, and I made some of these into pocket pages. And in here there's just a little piece of looks like a linen cardstock, and clipped on here is one of her little envelopes, and I don't remember if I put anything in it. I think I actually just these paper clips are so tight I have to loosen them. There we go. Oh, I did. I put a little stamped book page punch. It's from a history book. Hopefully I don't have to take all these clips off because I won't remember I placed them specifically where I wanted them, and I'm going to forget. So I'll try not to take them off. So here's a vintage, I believe this is a 1950s songbook page, and then she has a whole page full of tabs. So I used some tabs. Here's one tab there. There's another one of her pages, Dream, Try, Aspire, and one of her background pages, one of her little pockets, and I just added a button, and then I added one of her tags. It says Serene, and then just a little strip of a ledger page for like another tag or journaling spot. And then clipped on here is one of her, I don't know, it's kind of like a file folder, but it's like a journal card with tabs on both sides. And it says Lovely and Forget Me Not, and then I printed her lined paper that comes with the kit on the other side of it, so that you actually had lines to journal something. I thought that really finished it off well. And here's another one of her pages and background pages. This is from like a cookbook that I just added a book page in there. And then she has a little pocket here and a little tag. I just added a gem to that. Some coffee dyed paper, some upholstery fabric. I added this saying, it says, "A gracious smile from thee." So I thought putting photos here would be great. A little bit of washi tape. She has page flags as well, and I just layered up some fabric and lace and a flower, and you could tuck something under that if you wish. Here is like a brown paper bag. I believe this is from AboveParrCrafts. If you need journal supplies, bags, library cards, tags, you'll want to go to her shop. I'll list it below because she has amazing things. So some lace, and then this says heart and soul. And then one of her tabs, I just put on another piece of that linen cardstock there. And that just slips right in there. One of the little journal cards I just turned into a pocket. And then these are vintage drawing cards. They're like how to draw. And they're from a vintage book. And I print them out and sell them in my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in purchasing, there's like a set of 12. You can go to my shop, which will also be linked below. And you can purchase a set of 12 of these. How to draw different things. And then just a little coffee dyed tag with a little tab there. And I added this little 15-cent. I think these are from like a Tim Holtz ephemera pack. Her stuff, she told me she's inspired by Tim Holtz. And of course we all are. But if you buy Tim Holtz ephemera packs, they go so well with her kits. So here's just a little piece of paper I had, but it looks like this fabric. And then this is a frame from the Graphics Fairy. And I added that Tim Holtz in memory of. So maybe a relative that passed away or a pet or something, you could put their photo in there and they have their little place of honor in this family book. And then this is one of her little envelopes in the kit. I added a little flat back flower, but I left it open so you could do some journaling on it if you wanted to, or you could just glue it shut. So another one of her postcards here, and I stitched on some coffee dyed paper. One of her background pages. And this is Grow, Dare, Discover. I loved the tickets. I think I used all of them in this kit. And this says Recollections of the Past. And then I added a Tim Holtz little boy. We have another pocket. This is just scrapbook paper. And then this was from like an ephemera kit that I got at Tuesday Morning. I don't remember the brand, but it was just in one of the ephemera kits I bought there. I love this page, title, date, and subject. And she has these little, I only used one in the book because I really wanted it to stand out, but she has these little, they look like little pieces of hardware. And this says relax. And so I cut out this piece of cardboard and made it look like it's, you know, like one of those boxes you could pull out, like a file drawer. And then I put in one of her tickets that has this beautiful rose, and then one of her little journal cards that has this little girl. So like you're pulling out these relaxing memories of family and friends. This is Make Me a Promise, and then there's a place to journal or put a photo. So we're into the second signature, and you can see that beautiful upholstery fabric in between. So I love that. She has these little like charms. I mean, they're paper, but they look so real. And I cut it out and just glued it on here. And then here's another pocket page, and inside here, there's a little, this is from VectoriaDesigns. It's one of the Ledger ATC cards I use all the time. And then a little Tim Holtz boy leaning on that. Some scrapbook paper and a little Tim Holtz piece of ephemera. Someone sent me this tag in a Happy Mail, and I just added on some lace. I thought it went well with the vintage theme. Here's one of her tags. It has like a key on it. And then this label was from another one of her kits that I had left over from another project, and so I added it on here, and it says In My Heart I Know. This is from a book on like watchmaking and clocks, so I added that. And there's another page, and then this is like a pink dyed piece of paper that I made, and I turned it into this really wide ribbon, and you can trim that down more. I like it wide, but as you open and close this book more and more, this ribbon is going to rub on it, and it's probably going to tear. And if you like that, fine, but if it bothers you, just trim it down closer to the page, because you can see how much it hangs over. You can trim it way down and it won't do that. Here we have another pocket page, and inside here is a piece of coffee dyed paper that I stamped with a stamp from Michaels. And then here's another one of her journal cards. Another one of the little page flags. And then I stamped this keyhole stamp I got from Hobby Lobby. Another one of the little tickets. I like this page. It's like from a seed catalog or something like that. A little bit of washi. Another one of those little like charms or watch faces or something like that. Another page flag. And I added very kind-hearted. There's a little girl reading a book and there's a little dog. Here's another postcard, and I just clipped it inside this pocket with this gold binder clip. And then here's another one of those how to draw cards that I have in my shop. I added a little bit of flower trim with some flat back baby pearls. I love these. They are incredible. They open like this, and I printed the lined paper on the other side so you can write. But they're just so pretty. So I clipped that here, and then here's a die cut. Like a die cut tag. Look at how pretty that is, like a paisley. I just slipped that in there. And then on this piece of scrapbook paper, I added some of the cut off Ada cloth, another little piece of fabric, a puffy heart, and then just a little piece of ephemera that I had in my stash. And I just tucked that there. And then in this pocket, we have a coffee dyed tag flip with a flower stamp. On this page, on this little tag, I added this Tim Holtz word. It says sweetheart. We got a couple things going on this page, if I can get everything to cooperate. Here's a little mini envelope. There's nothing in it, but you could tuck something in it. That came with the kit. Here's a little piece of a book page that I had. It has some beautiful florals in it. The White Knight's Blush. And then a little piece of wallpaper that you can journal on. And this feels incredible. So just little pieces of joy clipped on here. Let's see if I can. If I don't get it back now, I will never remember. I really respect all of you who do the journals and you take everything out and you set it to the side to put it back later. You're amazing that you remember where to put everything back. So this is beautiful. I added some of this like shiny trim and a little button. Beautiful pages. Here's a little pocket that comes with the kit. It says Keys to the Past. I added some trim and pearls and then another little key tag in there. And then I had a key punch that punches out these two different kinds of keys. So I punched them out, inked them up, and added some little rhinestones. Another journal card. I added Thoughts That Whisper to My Heart. It's from Tim Holtz. And in this pocket, we have a shipping tag with 2 stamps and a little bit of seam binding. And then another stamp here, and then another one of these little charms and a little burlap flower. This is that Ada cloth, and I just made a little ribbon. A little coffee dyed corner tuck spot, and I love these little clipboards. She has like a whole page of them, and I think I only used one in here, but they're incredible. Here's another pocket, and this is just a piece of scrapbook paper I had that has like postcards on it, and so you can journal in that. Just a flip. Some scrapbook paper, a pocket, says vintage, one of my little paper ribbons. This is a 1950s children's dictionary, and here's an entry for cinnamon. And it just I made a little envelope using my envelope punch board, and there's some stitching, and I inked it up. So I added that, and then this is from one of those little smash books, If I Could Go Anywhere, Live Anywhere, and Date. So I thought that was kind of nice to put in here. Another one of her postcards. This is like from a patchwork quilt book. Some washi. These are also in her kit, and they're like little file folders or something. So I have some washi attaching it to this book page, and here too, so you can journal behind it, journal here, and journal here. It just adds journaling space. Another pocket. This is a Project Life card, and I just did some stitching on it to really make it stand out. So that slips in that pocket. This is from a reprint of one of the old like Sears catalogs, and it has like cameras, and yeah, it's all cameras. And then I added Loving Heart from Tim Holtz, and then another one of these I added 235. I think, did I add something to this? Yeah, 154. There's little number stickers, so I just added those, and then again, same thing there on that book page. And then I just folded up this coffee dyed paper and made a little teeny pocket to add a little Tim Holtz 50-cent piece of ephemera. Journal card. Here's another one of these flips that I love, and this one is so gorgeous. So I added a little bit of Aida cloth with a gold garment pin and a little beaded heart hanging off of there. You can journal in it. And I just slipped it here in this pocket. And there's nothing else in this pocket, so you can go ahead and add whatever else you want. And then I got this a long time ago in Happy Mail. I've been hoarding it. I think it looks so vintage and awesome, so I'm adding it to this journal because this journal just needed it. I love this page. It's one of my favorites. It has a bird and it says serene. There's some gold trim. Here's a little piece of ephemera. Give thanks with a grateful heart. I had it in my stash from Tuesday morning. And then here's a little coffee dye tag with some fabric that I made. And then I added our lifetime and then a little piece of a, what is that called? Tape measure, printed tape measure, and some fabric behind that. In this pocket, we have an inked up index card for more journaling. And then this says experienced workmen. This is kind of like a mail order receipt. And then there's some Tim Holtz people here, a little gasoline coupon from Tim Holtz, and then a little tag that I made just tucked behind them. A little wallpaper book plate, sort of, that I made from a die cut. It says favorite tales. Added some little flat backs on that. It's a little stamped tag there. And we come to the end. This is also, I cut out from her kit. It's actually part of a page, but I wanted it here in the back. It's like a little pen or paintbrush tied on here, it looks like, and so that's a good place to write something there on the back. So there's a lot going on in this journal. So much love was put into making the kit, and of course I put a lot of love into making it, so I hope you really enjoy it. And go over to Seneca Pond Crafts and be sure to buy this kit so that you can have it in your stash. You will not regret it.